It's a brutal era of endless war, providing the chosen tallyman of Nurgle, Epidemius, countless opportunities to spread, observe, and catalog the Plague Lord's myriad glorious diseases.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Epidemius campaign. This is where we left off at the end of the last episode. This is, by the way, an extremely long, challenging, and thematic campaign, like all of them on this channel, of course. So yeah, we left off over the intern when we got attacked here by 4 armies of Archaon. And I had posed the question at the end of that episode as to whether or not to possibly auto-resolve this, because despite the fact that it's 1 army against 4, 20 units against 80, it does have us here at a victory without losing any units. Now, normally, of course, on this channel, and actually even videos not, or even games not that I don't even upload, I normally would never auto-resolve a battle like this, but it was one of the questions that I posed in terms of what's a good compromise in terms of being able to continue the campaign, continue to upload the videos, but maybe not make them quite so long and drawn out. And we did just fight a battle very similar to this. It's going to be kind of similar to the battle that we fought against Archaon in the previous episode, where we used 1 army against 3 and knocked out 60 units with Archaon himself. And so, because we've already, kind of fought this battle, I'm kind of leaning towards going ahead and auto-resolving it. Now, there are obviously trade-offs. One of them is, well, and the other thing I should mention is if I did fight this manually, it would end up taking probably almost the entire episode, or at least a huge chunk of it. And obviously, the campaigns move much slower when we take the time to fight every single battle. But anyway, so I think I would do better if I fought this manually, and I'm a little surprised, in fact, that by auto-resolving it, we wouldn't lose this Plague Toads unit, for example, but, that's what it's telling us. But we will take damage, and it's not that we wouldn't take any damage if we fought it manually, but I do think that, as that previous battle showed, we can do a pretty effective job. These are absolutely wonderful units in the hands of Epidemius. So now if we auto-resolve it, we're very unlikely to actually wipe out these enemy armies, and so that's the trade-off. We're probably going to take a lot of damage, more than we would take in manual, and we're probably not going to actually destroy units. We'll probably destroy some, but we're probably just going to make these armies retreat, which it is a bit of a problem because we need to be actually wiping out armies at this point. But I'm going to go ahead and auto-resolve it. Let me know in the comments if you're just adamantly opposed to my doing that. But as an experiment, I think we'll go ahead and do it for the reasons I just said. And we'll just get on with this campaign. Obviously, I'm not going to auto-resolve every battle, but I'm going to try not to have manual battle after manual battle that look very, very similar. Try to get a little bit more diversity as we start fighting other enemies, perhaps. Although Valky is probably likely to be our next enemy, and she's going to have units kind of similar to what we see here. But anyway, enough talking, Michael. Let's just go ahead and get on with the action here. So let's auto-resolve, see what happens. Yeah, we did lose these Plague Toads, which is crazy. It didn't tell me we were going to. It's fine. I don't, really worry too much about losing them. We got ourselves some armor, got ourselves some decent experience, and just like I said, we did not wipe out these armies. We did a lot of damage to them. Quite a bit of damage. Most of their... Ooh, wow, look at how much damage those armies took. Okay. They took quite a lot of damage. We actually did more than I expected to. Infections 100, army replenishment, or total favor. That's ridiculous. That battle, and we're only getting 1,500 favor out of it. Okay, well, we're going to take the infections. And looks like we lost this. And our plague, that's Yin. Yin, you took some damage, buddy. Sorry about that. But you got a lot of experience out of it. Let's go ahead and take the infections. Watch them retreat. We'll see what they do. I think that's the majority of their armies at this point. They might have one more, but they hit us with almost everything they could. And it does look like we're still in our own territory, so we should get at least a little bit of replenishment. Yep, there's another army right there. These guys are falling back. Now, because we took so much damage, it means we're probably going to have to wait a few turns to press our attack. And, of course, we're also going to have to decide how to replace the Plague Toads.
Bring the Taliban your
What now?
offerings.
Okay, so Varg has declared war on us. Interesting. Wonder if that's because of the damage we took in that battle. Sure are taking their time to do their turn. There we go. I guess actually I should pay attention to them because they are just across the water from us. They could actually reach us and do some damage if we're not careful. Okay, so sacrifice to Mathlin performed. Black Council. That's fine. We killed quite a few enemies there in battle. Got ourselves a Trickster's Helm. That's very nice indeed. Okay, and then Nurglish Jester won a defensive battle. We don't win too many of those, do we? We don't fight too many of those. Enemy hero action success chance, -8%. That's fine. Potion of Full Hardiness. That's fine. Mount gained. That's good. Trait gained. Creator. That's good. Technology research. Revel in Malady. Army ability summoned from beyond. Okay, that's good. We'll take that. Settlement receives Plague. Volcano's Heart. Okay. It is nice to know that we can win, you know, that even auto-resolve recognizes how strong those Exalted Plague Bearers are, because that is certain. Ooh, this is interesting. Okay, that's quite interesting. That's Azazel, right? Azazel and Arbal. And okay, that's just normal. Wissenland and Reichland. Okay. All right, that's all well and good. Why can we see this down here? Oh, because of the in-game crisis. That's why. Okay. All right, so we're losing Winds of Magic. We did get a bit of replenishment. We're probably we're probably okay, actually, to make an attack here. We could potentially wipe out all three of those armies. That army right there, though, might be... They might be able to counterattack us. Let's see how much of our movement. This would bring in all three enemy armies. We could wipe them all out in one hit. Or alternatively, we could do this. Yeah, we still have plenty of movement left if we do that. We could hit these guys first, and then hit them, and then hit them, and probably still have enough movement left to get back into our own territory. So that might be an option here, just to finish off these three armies. Let's go ahead and do our skill ups here. All right, let's take a look here. We've got all of this done. We've got all of this done, except we could do a second. Ooh, weapon strength plus 5% for the whole hero's army. Cool. Plus it reduces the cooldown on Locus of Virulence. Yeah, that seems certainly worth taking. And this then would give an experience gain to the heroes in this army. That's a possibility. And then also share some experience with all other lords. That's a possibility as well. We could also continue the red line. Obviously, these units are now a high enough rank that they would definitely benefit from it. When we look at this, we would give... Please tell me the Exalted Plague Bearers are in there. Yep, that's them right there, right? Yep, okay. So they would get out of this speed, melee attack, and missile. That's too good to not get. That's definitely too good to not get. We're going to want to have a Soul Grinder or two in this army eventually, so I think what we'll do is we'll take the Filth Incarnate, probably. Certainly, although you guys did request that we get some more unit diversity in our armies, still, Soul Grinders are so good. Yeah, I gotta take a Soul Grinder or two into this army eventually, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this for now. We'll take a look at trying to get some flying units and some other stuff into these armies at some point, and then... Okay, Yin the Corpulent. I've been chastised, by the way, about risking Yin's life by driving him into the middle of melee like I did. I love doing that with the Locus of Contagion, and you know he can handle himself. I gripe when these plague riddens get themselves, and not just plague riddens, really any campaign, any mounted character, when they get stuck in the middle of groups of mobs. I know it happens time and again. I know I sound frustrated, but I'm really just grousing in the middle of a battle because I get really into the battles. Don't take me too seriously. I'm not really angry at Yin for not flying away the way he's supposed to. Okay, all right. Anyway, enough said about that. Let's go ahead and let's finish off the yellow, and then we'll go back and start giving him maybe some like improved magic. So we'll give him hard to hit, and we'll give him Deadly Blade. And I mean 5267. That's not bad. Not bad. And what about the armor? I think maybe this Trickster's Helm might be better for him. If I'm going to use him like that, maybe I go ahead and do that. And ancillaries, what did we gain? Oh, the Jester. Yeah, let's do that, actually. I don't want him to get assassinated. Okay, and then you have 3 skill points. Holy cow, okay. Putrid Ritualist of Nurgle. This is going to get us... Okay, that's quite good, but it does cause damage to self. But it also heals. Enabled if enemy unit debilitated within range. Okay, what's the definition of debilitated in the context of Warhammer 3? Putrid Infiltrator, that looks like it might be good. Insidious Spread. That's a chain hex. I like that. And Malignant Mingling. Okay, that's also quite good. I have a feeling this is what I'm going to take. But then Devoted Nihilist, Control, Leadership, Physical Resistance, Embrace the End, Armor, Physical Resistance, and Leadership. That's pretty nice as well. Effect intensity increases as the unit takes damage. This one, that one doesn't increase, and that one... will spread to enemies within spread range. Yeah, affects up to 3 units. Okay. Embrace the End. Yeah, okay. And then Annihilate Order. Leadership and Armor. And Silenced. But it's only against 1 unit. With a 2-minute cooldown. I think we'll take Putrid Infiltrator on this guy and maybe something else for the next Cultist of Nurgle that we get. What do we need to do here? We need to get to level 19. for that. Alright, I think we're currently only 16. I think we'll finish Blade Shield. We'll take Wound Maker, we'll take Deadly Onslaught, and then we'll go back here and start finishing that up. Okay. Works for me. And save the game here, Michael. This army right here is replenishing, and quite frankly, okay, I could actually bring them up. I could get them involved in some of this fighting over here just for purposes of getting him some experience. But it might make more sense to just move westward instead to deal with Valkia. Okay, I think... I think we definitely want to end our turn in our own territory so that we can get the replenishment, because these are strong units, but I don't want to just keep weakening them battle after battle and not get them any replenishment. Before I leave Volcano's Heart, because we do have this new trait that I think makes... It's going to reduce the cost, right? Where is it? Trait gain, yeah, right there. Reduce construction cost by 5%. So, let's build here before we leave the territory. I think we'll give you the growth. We're going to attack here, attack here, attack here. 3 different lightning strike battles, probably. We could always come down and let's take a look here. This is Kull. How strong is Kull? They're not super weak. Let's see how strong actually Archaon is right now. Archaon, where are you at? Right here, okay. Archaon's still decently strong as well, but obviously weak, much weaker than they were. But they probably have more than these 4 armies. They probably have yet another army somewhere. And meanwhile, Valkia, deteriorating. It's probably only a matter of time before she's going to attack us. You know what we need to do, Michael? What are we doing here? Melee attack. Okay, I'm gonna leave. I'll leave this plague on him. But I'm going to go ahead and recruit in another Exalted Plague Bearer. We'll get some unit diversity a little bit later in the campaign, but for right now... Well, I guess I could do some Plague Drones. But I don't buff them right now. I think I'd better do the Exalted Plague Bearer for right now. Okay. Did I recruit you in at unit rank 5? That's pretty good. I'll take that. Alright. Oh, actually, we're only at 19 out of 20. Why don't I go ahead and do, for now... Pox Riders and Nurgle, they're demonic. Plague Drones and Nurgle. So these are Plague Bearers on top of mounts, right? So it's still very thematic, but we don't buff them is the only thing. I think we'll go ahead and take these Plague Drones. Why not? Might be good to have a second flying unit. We got so much money right now. Why not? Alright, so if we come down here and attack you, we're at 55%. Let's just look one more time at the army. Okay, that's nothing. That's going to be a little bit tougher. Still, not too much of a problem here. Decisive victory, and that's if we don't lightning strike. Let's go ahead and give the leadership to... We're going to give the lead... Yin, do you need the leadership? 83. These plague drones are at 90. Well, I'd much rather lose the plague drones than lose yen. If we auto-resolve, we don't lose any units, but I don't see any reason to not just lightning strike. We should barely lose take any damage at all, right? Just quick save it, just in case. Okay. Auto-resolve. No damage. Doesn't look like our characters took any damage. 1,700 loot. Pretty good. And 1 infection. Or 250 favor. I think we're going to have to take the... let's use the immune to attrition for a turn. Why not? No point in taking 1 infection. Enemy killed in battle, of course. Oh, we got a skeptic. Another skeptic. Alright, we could actually reach here, but this is not a battle that I want to fight right now. Full strength garrison, those 20 units. We could probably win that, but we would take a lot of damage, and I want to finish wiping out these armies right here first. So, may as well at least do our skill up first. Do I not have... Oh, I need 6. It's okay. We'll get there eventually. Okay. Let's go ahead and do Vestergax. Do I want to get this guy over here? If I were to move him to here, 36% movement remaining. I don't think I need to worry too much about that army right there. I don't think I need to worry too much about that army right there. So we can just mop up over here. Obviously, I'm going to keep sending this way. I'm just trying to decide whether to bring him over here. It's not like he's going to get very much experience out of being a secondary army in a battle of that size. So I think I'm not going to worry about that. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Decisive victory. At this point, I don't think there's any reason to lightning strike. I could get a second... Actually, I could get a second battle out of it, which means more money. We should not lose very much, I would not expect. 1. Okay, I can live with losing 1. It looks like we lost a plague drone. It's okay. Got 3,000 gold out of it and half a level. This time we will take the infections for 28. Okay. And you, Yin, you got yourself Foe Seeker now. And 1 more to go here. Decisive victory. Okay, still shouldn't lose any units, although I can't trust this anymore now that we know that it killed a plague toad unit that it wasn't supposed to. Oh, we didn't kill him! Suffered pretty badly from the loot there because we didn't kill him, but that's alright. That's fine. Let's see if does it stack when it says using slaves turns 1. Let's see if that stacks now to give us 2 turns of it. It's not going to matter. We're not suffering attrition anyway, but got ourselves glittering scales. If we take a look here at using slaves, 2 turns. Okay. Very good. And we can go into channeling stance. And we want to go into our own territory here. Getting replenishment. You can take... Wow, it goes so much. Everything goes so much faster when you auto-resolve. Wow, okay. Deadly Onslaught. And that'll do it for Epidemius' army for now. He is certainly in a position to come down here if he wants to, potentially come up here. Although that, again, let's see what that army does. I might want to have a little bit better replenishment before I take on 32 units in a walled city battle. But otherwise, looking pretty good over here. Now, that means you guys... Vashnar, you have the mixed mortals and demons. I want you to have more mortals overall, though. I think... Let's take... You have one cavalry unit currently. Oh, you got that soul grinder, but you know what? This is a regiment of renown. We're going to disband that. We don't need that right now. Okay, so I could give you some chosen here. You've got 2 marauders. You got 4 marauders of 2 different types. I could give you some chosen. I could recruit them now in order for them to start getting some replenishment. Some pestigors. What's the difference in strength between, let's say, a regular chosen and a pestigor? The chosen have much better leadership. They are slower. That's going to be the main thing, is that they're slower but stronger. Okay, 80 models versus 120 models. Okay. Chosen are definitely stronger units, and the chosen also... How fast are these guys? 39. The chosen... The speed of the chosen is much more in line with the speed of the plague bearers. So pestigors would be if I want a little bit of faster infantry. I could also recruit another marauder horseman. Let's do that. I like having more than one of that kind of unit, because one of them by themselves is really pretty ineffective. Money-wise, we're at minus 1,800. That Soul Grinder Regiment of Renown was probably incredibly expensive. Alright, you, Leper War. I think I'm going to leave him with 11 units, 11 Plague Bearers for now, or 10 Plague Bearers plus himself. I'm going to leave him this size because I don't want to do too many more Plague Bearer recruitments. I want to probably start getting his Exalted Plague Bearers into his army as well, and then maybe some other types of demons as well. I could go ahead and do some of these guys right now. However, I probably want to be a little bit careful with our money situation.
Triumph in totality.
Vashnar. The other thing is I've got some of these things down here that I could do for a little bit of extra experience and money. A couple of them there. Okay. But what we probably want to do... We could attack Varg. Let's see how strong is Varg. They're not super strong. We could use these armies against Varg. Certainly we will if they sail up north, but if they don't sail up north, we could always take the fight to them. The question is, how long do we have against Valkia? Okay, all right. You know what? People had mentioned in the video that I take too long to make strategic decisions, so let's just start doing things here, Michael. Let's go faster. I try to balance out the voicing the thought processes out loud with not just boring everybody to tears. And I know I probably don't do a great job of striking that balance. So for now, we're just going to move you over here this way. And These 3 armies, not one of them is full strength, but... and not one of them has lightning strike. So we'd have a tough time taking on Valkia currently. But at least we do have this garrison here that's going to help us. You, meanwhile... yeah, I think I might leave you in... you're a wizard. I'm going to leave you in channeling stance for the time being. And are we getting the same Twisted Towers here? Are we getting the same replenishment? Yes. Same replenishment there as we would get over here. Actually, no, we're getting more replenishment over here. Okay, so we're going to stay where we are. Or at least we're going to stay in this province. What I might do... I'm going to back you up just a little bitty bit. So that if they do come up and attack you, you can retreat. But I just don't think they're going to do that just yet. I think they'll cancel the non-aggression pact with us first. Okay, so now our settlements here. Fetid Catacombs, you can get built up a bit. And what you need is this garrison building. We'll build that. Your control is okay. It's not great, but it's okay. It's not getting any better right now. And Valkia herself is hurting a little bit. Her army looks decently strong, but she herself is level 35, which is going to be a problem. Okay. Yeah, I just have to kind of hope that she goes to war with somebody else, or that we can get Epidemius back over there to the west before we go to war with her. Volcano's Heart, the control here is going to be an issue, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off the collect income for the time being. I could change this to control. We're already at 100 corruption, and it's actually going to start coming down here. But we are suffering -2 temporarily. That long term, we're not going to have to worry about. I think I'm going to change this to the control. Plus, we get infections out of that. And infections are obviously very good as well. Forest of Decay. Okay. This is where we've got our Plague Bearers military building. We're obviously going to build this. We do not currently have the garrison building built here. Or not the garrison, the walls building. Yeah, I think we want to do it. It doesn't look like it's under attack, but eventually we might need it. But more, we need this also to increase our capacity for the heroes. And let's talk about, at last, unlocking... Where you at? Where you at? Not toad dragons. Not great unclean ones. Soul grinders. That's what we want right there. Lesser Garden of Blight. Boom. Okay, that took a chunk of our infections, but that's okay. We need to start unlocking soul grinders. And then that is an advanced military building. Where is... I thought we had a resource building in one of these. It's just this one. That's not the right one. Where do we have that resource building? That's it right there. Okay, this increases our cycle time in the local province. So actually Black Rock is where we're going to want the Soul Grinder building. But unfortunately, we're not in a position to upgrade it, or to build it, to upgrade this settlement enough to be able to build it at this point. So never mind. We're not going to worry about that. It would be a little bit more optimal to build it there, but since we have an open slot right here, this is where we're going to build it instead. You're good. you're good. You're good. Okay, so settlements-wise, we're fine. Let's just take a look at these mission objectives. Yeah, that's not going to happen anytime soon. That's not going to happen anytime soon. Raid Varg Camp, okay. That is something that we could do. A pox upon their house. Okay, that's not going to happen. Capture many provinces. We'll get there pretty soon. The mightiest fortress, we'll get there eventually. And then these are going to take a while. We just don't have those as a natural enemy of ours. Alright, and then this, we just don't have the infections for it currently. It's okay. We'll take this for now. Or do we want something up here? Creeping Corruption could be useful. It's only 2 turns. We'll take it. Just to complete the the symmetry there. And then Fattening Seeds could be good. Metastasis, yeah, that would be good as well. Alright, we'll get there eventually. Alrighty, then money-wise, we could still afford to recruit if we wanted to. I think I'm going to hold off for the moment and check our diplomacy. Doesn't look like much going on. Malekith, we're not super far away from being able to get peace with Malekith. Not that we're worried about him, though. He's at war with the Lithanar and the Sisters of Twilight. Okay. I'm a little surprised Varg declared war on us. It's just because they had, I guess because of anti-player bias, and they had no other active wars going on. But that's kind of silly for them to be declaring war on a stronger faction. Whatever. Alright. Am I forgetting anything? Yes. I'm forgetting plagues, and I'm forgetting... Just want to make sure... Okay, Exalted Hero. I can recruit Exalted Heroes. Holy cow, Michael. I can recruit 4 of them. And 2 more cultists. Okay. Well, I don't need them in Epidemius' army, but there's no reason to not put them in everybody else's army. Literally everybody else's armies. I can only recruit them at rank 1, but it's fine. Cunning and Plague Rush. Ooh. Vanguard deployment for Plague Bearers of Nurgle and Exalted Plague Bearers of Nurgle. Okay. That would be really nice for Epidemius' army, but obviously we're definitely going to take this.
Cultist.
And
My lord.
I might as well recruit them both here and put them into these 2 armies. You don't have one. That's okay. You're rank 1 and you are rank 15. Maybe... But no, that one we just recruited needs to go into Leper War's army. Alright, let's go ahead and Cunning. Yeah, we'll take Cunning. Why not? And then now our upkeep is definitely going through the roof here. Diabolic Splendor. Melee attack for melee infantry units. This is good. We'll give this to Vashnar.
Sickness is delight.
And Evil Eyeball's not one of my favorites. Scaled Skin is pretty good. I think we'll take these 2 for now. And we'll hold off on any others. We're now looking at 3,000 per turn that we're losing. As long as we keep fighting battles, that's okay. But I need to be kind of careful here. That's probably as much as we should be losing per turn at this point. And let's go ahead and give you guys, I guess, some of our excess magic items. Any... Nope, don't want to do that. I'll give you the Sword of Striking, though. Potion of foolhardiness, I'll give you that. Okay. So that's him. Then we have Farmort. You can take the enchanted shield. Ancillaries. Nurglish familiar. Yep, we'll take that.
Plague soldier.
You can have that. You can have that.
Is a blessing. I bring.
You can have that. What we need is one more hero that we can use as an agent instead of in battle. I think it's gonna. I think ultimately I'm gonna make that be a plague ridden. However. Okay, I think now we're finally ready to go ahead and end our turn. No, plagues. I don't have a plague down there. I don't have a plague down here. I would definitely like to start spreading plagues through Archaon's territory. So let's go ahead and create a plague cultist right here and send him over here into the Crystal Spires, maybe. Although there is a chance I could spread it from the army, right? Or from Volcano's Heart. 3 turns right there, and... oh, this is where we don't have the commandment. Yeah, we need to finish this province for sure. What about over here? I don't want to give Valkia's armies, or... I don't want to use a plague cultist to give her infections, because she won't like that, but I could just do it here and hope that it spreads. Palace of Princes. We're not at war with you, which means you're probably a vassal of Valkia. Indeed, okay. Alright, that's fine. Fetid Catacombs. Do we need growth here? Yeah, we could definitely use growth here. Plagues. We've already got a plague right here. That's one that I do want to spread. I think I might actually sit tight on my infections for now. Alright, let's finally go ahead and do an intern. Gives me a chance to drink some coffee here. Wow, we didn't even get to see Archaon move. Nor Valkia. So Valkia is certainly not interested in moving away from where she has parked her armies, but actually she herself, we didn't see her own army move. Maybe she's going to hit 2 of our different settlements. Alright, so these guys are running away. That's a good call on their part. And these guys, are they coming up north? Oh, they can reach. Holy cow, I did not expect them to get there that quickly. Well, that's on me. That is definitely on me. Okay, we gotta take a look at that. The Forest of Decay, within a dark ravine, your tallymen sight the pristine corpse of a colossal ancient stegodon. The great lizard's presence here is a mystery, but nevertheless it shall become a glorious tribute to Nurgle's love. Banner of Unholy Victory, or stuff it with maggots. We don't need the corruption, so we'll haul it into the sunlight. And settlement receives plague, the fetid catacombs. Okay. Alright, so Valkia... oh, she went to war with the Flame Gullets. It's not exactly a major enemy, but it's somebody. But then she didn't move towards them. Oh, she went to war with Malekith. Well, why are your armies parked right here if you're at war with a faction to the west? That doesn't make any sense. Alright, the Folly of Malefics, you do have a garrison. Not a good one. Not a very good one. How strong is that army? Little. It's definitely stronger than our garrison. Okay, so we very likely are going to lose the Folly of Malefics unless we recruit an emergency army. But you could come down here and be in a position. You cannot reach it in regular stance in 2 turns, but I could move you in march stance and probably get close enough to be able to take it back. The Folly of Malefics, we may as well cancel this, right? No reason to spend that money on upgrading if we're going to end up losing the settlement. Over here... Okay. You guys need to start moving this way, but I'm going to park you here. You're the one who needs the cultist who beefs up plague bearers, which is this. Okay, you can get into that army.
Let our feet
And which one of these do we want to put in there? Diabolic Splendor, melee attack for melee. That I want him to be in Vashnar's army, which means you, Tamar Slavemaker, you're going to go into this one.
expedite
Okay.
sickness.
And now the army can continue in march stance as fast as you can. Still going to take a little while to get there. And then we're going to do the same thing here with Vashnar. You come over this way. And we want Farmort.
Lighted one, expedite sickness.
And, oops. And Ludwig. Okay.
Champion of decay.
And keep going this way as well.
With hateful
Okay. I should definitely have moved you down here last turn. Don't know why I didn't. It was just dumb of me. We can't really see how far he can reach, but I think he's going to have a hard time coming up this way because of the zone of control of the settlement. So we're going to go ahead and bring Bilgefoot Everrot. He probably could win a battle against that army anyway, or at least do a better job of it than this garrison can. Ooh, holy cow. A lot of chariots. Champion, 3 champion units. Okay, that's actually quite a strong army. Okay, that's fine. It happens. It happens in this game. Sometimes you lose settlements. Sometimes you don't have perfect knowledge of everything that's going on. Alright, Epidemius. I'm going to take Port of Secrets because they basically just gave it to us. And this will give us a chance to have a battle in this episode that won't take too long. I probably should have gotten rid of the Festering Stooges, but we'll replace him with a Soul Grinder, maybe, or actually that's too many turns away. We'll replace it with a regular Exalted Plaguebearer, or maybe with another flying unit or something. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll do this. Get ourselves one nice little battle in this episode. They don't have much here. Battlefield probably just going to be, yeah, just regular old plains. That's fine. Okay, let's fight it really quickly. Alright, let's get our damaged units down here in the trees. And by damaged units, not you, Yen. You can heal yourself. All of you all. Literally all of you. Back here. That's good enough. I don't think there's any real risk of them getting back there. And then all of you right here. Epidemius, I want you kind of in the front. Yin, you can just stay back there. Okay. Alright. Start battle. Move forward. See if they come towards us. Yin.
Tallymen come to bring the pox and filth and scum.
You're actually healing on your own, so I don't even have to cast that. Okay, you two. Let's get you over here like that. Actually, let's do all three. Get like this. And all, literally everybody then can get like that. And I can't help myself. I cannot help myself. We're going to go ahead and charge on in. And just wreck them with Yin. And actually, Yin, you're probably going to end up taking damage from our Exalted Plague Bearer, so never mind. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. How I ended up getting you wounded or killed in the last battle. Alright, this is going to be a bloodbath over here. Epidemius, you go charging right in. I don't even care if they're spearmen. And you can go, okay, first of all, you guys right there, go ahead. Chase them. Epidemius, you go ahead and do this. And that. And that. You guys hit them. Alright, Yin, how are you doing here? Okay, right there. Here, you guys need to do that. And Yin, let's get you forward here. Let's go ahead and do this. Victory. At this point, all I really need to do is just heal. There's really no reason to keep fighting. Heal yourself. Speed up. You are going to end up finishing this battle at full strength, which is beautiful. Okay. Works for me. In battle. Alrighty. Slice of victory, of course. Got decent money out of it. But that doesn't matter. What matters is we have ourselves another settlement, and we're closer to finishing off this province. Let's go ahead and occupy it. Oh, completely forgot about the public order and growth hit that we're going to take. That's fine. I think we're in a good position to be able to absorb that without too much trouble. 3 turns of it. So we're going to suffer the minus... Where's it at? Characters -7. Not so bad. And we're also going to suffer over here for 3 turns. It's fine. Nothing is about to be rebelling against us, at least. Epidemius, you're up to level 40. Take that. Okay. We're losing Winds of Magic, but that's okay. We're getting semi-decent replenishment. And I could go ahead and level this up. I don't really see any reason not to. We can afford it. We're getting the income. I think I'll keep the income building for now. We will want to get a growth building here soon. We have 2 more turns left of that. That's fine. Das ist gut. And I think we'll get another turn or 2 of replenishment and be in pretty good shape to attack Crystal Spires then. Meanwhile, let's just take a look here at Cull. You have... do you just have that 1 settlement now? Looks like that's all you have. And then Arc... oh no, you got more over here. So you've got 3 settlements. And then we have Archaon with 3, 4 settlements that we can see. Let's just see for sure. They actually have 5. Archaon has 5. And Cull has just those 3. Okay. Still, I feel like as long as we employ a decent enough strategy, we can take all of that with just Epidemius' army and then give all the rest of our armies the western part of our empire. I don't like that we're going to lose one of our... is it the Folly of Malefics? Is that where we're going to lose one of our minor settlements over here? Yeah. But there's just... it's not worth the money to try to hurry up and recruit an emergency army, I don't think.
Refused.
Yeah, Varg is actually pretty clearly thrown everything they've got at us over here. That's fine. That's fine. I just wish we had better units than those Nurglings. Those Nurglings are not going to do much. Nurglings against champions and chariots. Yeah. And Fimir warriors. Yeah, just not going to work. But these exalted plague bearers, that's going to help a lot. We'll take it back, I think. We could also weaken them with a plague, maybe. I don't know. We'll decide that, I guess, in the next episode. Let me just see. Is there anything else I want to do? Fetid Catacombs over here. Right now,
Denied.
hard to tell whether or not that's going to be strong enough. You know what? I'm going to cancel. I'm going to cancel this because it's not going to get built before that army, or maybe both armies, could hit it. There's a chance that that army might run over there and help out with the Folly of Malefics, but I don't think it's worth the risk. Nah, not worth the risk. This is the expendable portion of our empire over here, just because it has to be. So we'll save money right there. You're getting built up. You are in fine shape, other than that temporary hit to your public order. You are fine, but we need growth. We definitely need the growth over here. Probably would be a good idea to get a growth plague going over here. That one right there would be nice. If that would spread over here, that would be lovely. The fact that that does exist right there makes me think that maybe we don't bother to build it. I'm sorry, to infect over here. Yeah, okay. I think we'll leave it at that. We'll pick up here in the next episode Unless the, well, never mind. I'm not even going to say it out loud. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and just, yeah. Okay. Thanks everybody so much for watching. I will see you all in the next episode.